Well, good morning and welcome to Cityline. It is great to be in your home. Today is August 10th, and quite honestly, it feels a little bit like Augustuary out there, if that's a word. It's kind of cold, but it's been basically burning off in the afternoon, so we'll take it. Later on in the hour, we'll be talking with two individuals from the Russell Family Foundation, and they have a wonderful opportunity that they're here to talk about. And then Tacoma's Peace Queen, Melanie Denise Cunningham, is here. I love it when she's in the studio. I love getting into good trouble with her, and she will be visiting us in our third segment. Tony Gomez is here from Tacoma Arts Live, and he's going to be talking about all of the shows that are coming up. So you definitely want to take notes because those shows make for great gifts. Now, on the wide shot, you may have seen this handsome, I would call him a young man that is here for our Pet of the Week with the Humane Society. Lindsay, who do you have that needs a forever home?
Yeah, so here with me is Smokey, a 12-year-old Catahoula mix. He is just adorable. We like to call him the spotted seal for very good reasons. But he's just a very loving dog. He would love to snuggle up with you on the couch, maybe do some casual strolls around the neighborhood. He's just a really great pup. So if you are interested in Smokey, you can check out his profile on our website at thehumanesociety.org, and he would love to meet you.
He has the most beautiful face. I mean, you just want to kiss it until you can't kiss it anymore.
Oh yes, he's very lovable. Loves to go on some strolls, does well in the car, so maybe go visit some parks. Yeah.
Well, Smokey, here's to your new forever home, and thank you for being here today. And Lindsay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Now, with me on the comfy couch, I have two individuals who are here to talk about Picture Pac Ave. That's right. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Wesley Rhodes. You are the senior planner for the city of Tacoma. Gorgeous suit. Welcome to Cityline.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Good to have you here. With you is the lovely Alyssa Torres. You are also a senior planner for the city of Tacoma. Hello there, my dear.
Hello, good morning.
Good to have you both here to talk about Picture Pac Ave. So right off the bat, we have a PSA we're going to gaze at. So let's just take our view to the camera here, then we'll come back for some good questions. How's that?
Sounds great.
All right.
Pacific Avenue connects our South End and East Side neighborhoods to downtown Tacoma and Mount Rainier National Park. The corridor historically served commuters and tourists traveling by car. But today, it's more than just a place to pass through. It's home to vibrant and diverse communities, shops and local businesses, parks and schools, and will soon be the county's first bus rapid transit corridor. As our region grows, we know Pac Ave is changing too. Join us to create Picture Pac Ave, a sub-area plan for the corridor from I-5 to South 96th Street, as we aim to advance priorities like housing affordability, climate action, and economic development, and enhance zoning and development standards to achieve a community-led long-term vision. Learn more about Picture Pac Ave and how to get involved at our webpage, cityofTacoma.org/PicturePacAve.
There we go. That was our own TV Tacoma, Jeff Luters, providing that voiceover. Nice job, Jeff. So here's the big question, Wesley. Finally, what is Picture Pac Ave?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think Picture Pac Ave can succinctly be summed up in sort of two things. So what we're doing is we're working with the community along Pacific Avenue from about I-5 in the north down to around the city limits, which is around South 96th Street. And we want to work to create a community-shaped vision for the future of the corridor, looking at about 25 years from now, what would we actually like this area to be and to become? And then we want to identify all of the action steps that the city and all of our interagency partners need to make to actually help create that vision and help it come to fruition.
So I'm thinking about this and thinking when you said, let's just look ahead and see how we want this to look. And I thought, what a novel idea, planning out a city, which we have done very well. But why are we doing this project here and now? Wesley?
Sure. I think it's an attempt to be proactive as opposed to reactive to a lot of changes that will be occurring in the city over time. So there's a couple things that we know. One is we know citywide, we're expecting about 50% population growth over the next 25 years.
Wow.
And so as a city, we need to plan where are all these people going to live, where are we going to have housing, and where are these people going to work, where are we going to have jobs. And then another reason why we're looking at it specifically along the Pacific Avenue corridor is we know that there's also planned transit improvements coming.
Yes.
With the goal of eventually having a bus rapid transit network or high capacity transit on this line. And so this plan is a way to really get out ahead of sort of some of those things that we know are coming and actually be able to shape and address and make that change occur in the way that the community wants over time instead of just sort of allowing it to happen and being reactive to it.
So true. I mean, when I think about 4 years ago, I mean, there's no way we could have known that COVID was coming. But if we, by chance, had a crystal ball and looked back at 1812, and we could go, we better be planning for this. It may have been an easier ride, who knows. Elisa, I know this plan is very comprehensive. It contains a variety of elements when Wesley talked about envisioning what we want this to look like. So let's discuss some of them as they relate to the 5 preliminary project goals. So number 1 is identity. Create a sense of place. Tell us what that means.
Yeah, so when you think of like your favorite place in Tacoma, what comes to mind? What's one of your favorite places in Tacoma?
Oh, the waterfront.
Waterfront, right?
Yeah.
People always have different answers, but one of the common things that everyone's answer is a place that has a sense of identity. And that's something that we're trying to bring to Pac Ave. When you interact with it, it's kind of bland. You kind of just move through it. You're not really going to a destination. And so part of Picture Pac Ave is really trying to create that sense of identity for the Pacific Avenue corridor and making it a destination that people actually like to be in. I live in the area, so I live a little bit off of the corridor, and it's not always the most enjoyable place to interact with. It's kind of hard to get around. You kind of just go and use it to get to somewhere else, but you don't really go to be there and spend time there. So through this process, we're hoping to kind of bring some of that identity and have it be on that list of people's favorite places in Tacoma.
Yep. Now my brain is going favorite places. Okay, that would be Frisco Freeze. It would be Pickwick over in 5. So those are those kinds of iconic things that we are going to go. That goes with this because of this. So let's talk about, Wesley, mobility. And boy, if this isn't on everybody's tongue. So improve walkability, accessibility, and connectivity. We see a lot of the connectivity happening right now with the Hilltop Link. What else are we envisioning?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the idea is to look at mobility sort of comprehensively across the spectrum. So we want to improve mobility for cars, for transit, for people walking and biking and rolling. But the thing that this plan will definitely have a specific emphasis on is really looking at that pedestrian safety and pedestrian connectivity piece.
Yes.
If this is an area that we're looking to, again, create sort of that identity, but also that we know that we're going to have high capacity transit and transit improvements, we know that people need to get to and from those station areas. So how do we connect those surrounding neighborhoods to those station areas? And then also something that we've noticed through some of the community walks that we've done is when you're walking along the street, you know, there's a high volume of traffic currently. Cars are moving pretty fast. It's pretty loud. It's not always the most pleasant pedestrian environment, and it also can be pretty difficult to cross the street in certain places. So looking at ways to enhance the pedestrian environment, the way that it feels to be along the corridor and the safety to be able to get across. We hear from a lot of people that Pacific Avenue really is a barrier, and things that are across from Pacific Avenue, while it might be close to your house, you might not consider it part of your neighborhood or feel like you have access to it. And so these are things that we're looking at.
Yeah, and Pac Ave to me has always been associated with commerce, busyness. When you say walk it and walkability, I don't think about Pac Ave as walkability. I think about be careful because it's busy there. Elisa, let's talk about community, because community is everywhere. And when we talk about community, in specifics, you've got evaluate community needs, amenities, and infrastructure. And boy, when we talk about infrastructure right now, with our shortage in housing, we have people who need homes. That's something that we can never do enough of.
Right, right. And community is something that all of these things are needed to help build that community, right? So through this process, we're looking at trying to identify what those needs are in the community, what's missing, what can we add to create that sense of community. Things like you said, housing, but also community amenities, parks, community centers, schools, libraries, all of these things that help to connect folks to their community, to help create a sense of community, and helps people to feel at home where they live in these areas. So we're hoping to identify some of those things and help to put into the plan ways to bring those things even more into that area.
That equity index that we talk
exactly.
about. Yeah. So, Wesley, in addition to the plan, I know you have some other reviews and analysis that you're going to be conducting related to environmental and health impacts, which, you know, right now with the smoke and the fires and the air that we're breathing, we are very aware of that. Tell me about the efforts that you have in this area.
Yeah, we have a couple things that we're doing. So in addition to doing the plan, as you mentioned, we're also conducting an environmental review. And so this will allow us to sort of look at planned growth and development in the corridor sort of in a comprehensive way up front and do an analysis to see and understand what might the impacts of all of this growth and development be, what kinds of things might be needed in terms of upgrades to infrastructure, other things that the city needs to do to help offset some of the pressures from that growth and development. And then the second part is, I'm very excited about this. We are also partnering with the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department to conduct a health impact assessment. And that will have a more focused look on the impacts or potential impacts, both positive or negative, to human health.
Nice. So last question, who do we need to thank?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost, I'd just like to thank the community who has partnered with us to help create this community-shaped vision, and specifically everyone that has already taken our survey to date. So that's the best thing that people can do right now in this moment. We have a survey that's open through the end of the month still, and they can access that at cityofTacoma.org/picturePacAve.
Showing that right there underneath those beautiful faces. Okay, so I need to have you back on this couch in 90 days so we can hear about the feedback and what the community had to say.
We would love it.
Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank
you.
My pleasure. When we come back, Tacoma Arts Live will be in the house. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.